If I could only ask a seller 3 questions when attempting to purchase their property, what would they be? This is John Martinez with the REI Sales Academy, and our real estate investor and acquisitions training is 12 weeks long, and our boot camps are 2 days long. So the REI Sales Academy is just chock full with lots and lots of information. But if I had to take that 12 weeks or take that 2 full days of acquisitions training and boil it down to just 3 simple questions, what would they be? Well, I'm going to tell you those questions and exactly why I would ask those questions and how you could ask them on your acquisitions call. So number 1, the first question I would ask is some variation of why. Why would you sell me the property? And what we want to accomplish with this question is figure out what the seller's motivation is. Why would they? We don't want to tell them all the reasons why we think they should sell their property. We want to figure out what compelling reasons they already have so we can just expand on them. So it might sound like this. Hey, listen, it doesn't really sound like you need to sell your property. You're not in that type of a situation where you've just got to get rid of it ASAP, and that's a good place to be. But let me ask you this. If you did decide to sell, whether it's to me or whether it's to somebody else, today or even within 10 years from now, why would you? You see, it's so much easier to let the seller tell you what their motivation is instead of trying to guess and just throwing everything out there hoping that you land on the right motivation. Now, the second question I would ask is this. Why wouldn't you? Some variation of why wouldn't you, right? The first question is why would you? Just as important is why wouldn't you? We run into all kinds of motivated sellers. People that want to get rid of their house, but for some reason they don't. They don't sell. They hold on to it. People going through bankruptcies. People who have an extra property that's just causing them nothing but headaches. Why do they hold on to them? Well, it's not because there's a lack of motivation. It's because something's standing in the way. So when we ask some variation of the question, why wouldn't you sell? We're going to dive into what their reasons are for not selling. What might potentially kill this deal or stall it out. So it might sound like this. And you know what? The money piece of this is usually the easiest. We typically have the highest offers. At the end of the day, we're going to make you our very best offer. And if you like it, you like it. And if not, then you don't. That's pretty simple. The funny thing is the hard part about all this is not making an offer that you like. The hardest part is even if we do make an offer, we do want to buy your house, you think the money works out and we agree on that. There's sometimes things that get in the way, things that prevent people from actually moving forward and being able to get rid of their house. There's worries, there's concerns, there's other things they've got to figure out before they can make that leap. So for you, what are the top 2 or 3 things that even if the money works out, you're going to have to figure out next before you have any type of comfort, any type of confidence in moving forward? So those are my top 2 questions. What about the third? Well, the third just goes deeper with those 2 questions. The why would you, the why wouldn't you? And we want to go deeper and we want to test our sellers' answers. We want to see how important these things are. We want to see if their why reason is compelling enough for them to take action. We want to see if it's personally compelling. We want to see if their why not questions would actually stop them. If there's something we actually need to address the way we structure our offer or what we talk about or with the solution. So that question, to dive deeper into each one of those, would be some variation of why is that important to you? So it might sound just like this. Why is that important to you? Or, hey, sounds like that's a pretty big deal to you. Can you tell me about that? Or it might sound like this. Hey, when you say blank, what is it that you really mean? And we just want to go 1 or 2 or 3 levels deeper. We want to get into that motivation with the why question and then really drill down to figure out what this seller's compelling reasons for selling their property is or are. And then we want to ask the why not question and then drill down deeper to figure out would these reasons, these deal killers, these concerns, would they really stop this person from selling their property? And if so, what do I need to do about it? So those are my top 3 questions. If I had to take every acquisitions call I had ever been on and boil it down to 3 questions, if I could only ask those 3 questions and I wanted to optimize my chances of closing every closable deal, why would you? Why wouldn't you? Why is that important to you? Hey, this is John Martinez with the REI Sales Academy. I hope that helps. Please start sprinkling those questions into your acquisitions calls. You'll start winning deals even when you're not the highest offer. See you next time.